All right, we're recording, everyone. Good evening. I know we got some things going on around town. We got some elementary graduations and things like that. So I know Debbie, Katrina, Darren, Michelle, they'll be hopping on a little late, I believe. But I want to get rolling right away because we have a very special guest tonight. Really excited to have our guest trainer on. And so let's dive right in, guys. So we homework was chapters 13 through 16. I know those were some powerful chapters there. Who's got some things they would like to share, some takeaways from what you read this week? I know Martina found a chapter she really liked. But you guys, anyone want to share? Come on now, don't be shy.
Better to aim at the moon and hit an eagle than to aim at an eagle and hit a rock. So I really like that there.
Say that again, Fred. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Said better to aim at the moon and hit an eagle than to aim at an eagle and hit a rock. So that kind of really spoke to me there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've always heard that, it's better to aim high and miss than to aim low and hit. So just keeping your goals in mind and reaching for them, like shooting high. Like, even if you think you can't get it, still go for it. In the end, I mean, it's your choice. Like, life's a choice. We've made many choices in life. And I mean, so I mean, I definitely, and then what else? This too shall pass. When it's talking about, if you're sad or depressed, whatnot, and everything, just remember that it'll pass. Like, so before Herbalife and Saline Nutrition and stuff, like last August, my grandmother passed away. And so, like, that kind of really hit me because, I mean, I was in a real dark place, when she passed away and stuff. And, like, I almost didn't make it out of it. But now I know, what I'm saying, today's a better day. And, this too shall pass. So, like, yeah.
Well, we're all glad and blessed that you persevered, man, because now you're here with us and, you're just getting started. So thank you for sharing, man. Appreciate it. Anyone else have any takeaways from what they read?
So I'll share what I had sent. So chapter 13 was about the emotions and something that we've been kind of discussing for a little bit too. So what caught my attention was that inside me is a wheel constantly turning from sadness to joy, from exaltation to depression, from happiness to melancholy. Today I'll be a master of my emotions. So trying to remember that even though something's sad today, tomorrow it'll be better, and having just that moment that it's meant for it to be that way, but to also turn it in for joy tomorrow. So.
It's good, Martina. It's so easy for us to allow our emotions to determine our activity. It determines our emotions. We let it determine the whole layout of our day. We let it determine what we do with our business. We let it determine, emotions have so much control over our lives. So it's good to be able to recognize that and start taking control of the emotions, I don't feel like doing this today. Well, what does feeling have to do with it? Like, it's what you said you were going to do. So it's really good to be able to recognize that, Martina. And it's something we're all developing, is being able to control those emotions and be able to just do what we've committed to do for ourselves and for our families. So awesome. And that is a great, great chapter. So anyone else like to share any takeaways from the book?
So what scrolls were, when I took my notes, I just kind of wrote them down like scrolls, not chapters. So I don't know what chapters they fall in.
That's all right.
What was the scrolls, I guess, from the chapters that this past week? Does anybody know?
It was, let's see, hold on a second. See, it's chapters 13 through 16, so that would have been scrolls. My book's back on my nightstand, so I can't.
So it's 13 was today I'll be a master of my emotions.
Okay.
14, I will laugh at the world.
Okay.
15 is today I will multiply my value 100-fold. And 16, I will act now.
Perfect. Okay. So takeaway. I think a big one in particular was from I will laugh at the world. Just whenever something or someone threatens to take my happiness, I will say to myself, kind of like Fred was saying, this too shall pass. That's something that I've had to learn how to really, I think when I was in McDonald's, a lot of times I've learned kind of how to laugh at the world. And when things kind of got chaotic, instead of getting overwhelmed and stressful, I would laugh and really just laugh about it. Like there's a lot of things that it's like, okay, I know I'm getting hit right now with this situation or whatever, but it's like, okay, what can I do about this situation? And a lot of times the more I think and stress over it, the end result is just me worrying, stress, like it does nothing good for me. But if I can just learn to just kind of laugh at the situation, like sometimes we would be shorthanded at McDonald's and like we'd have 4 or 5 people call in and all of a sudden the bus pulls up and it's like most people are like, oh man, what are we going to do? But half the time I would always like laugh about it. I'm just like, we're getting smacked up and just laugh about it and let's go to work. Like that would just kind of help me to not have so much stress. Just like I said, just laugh at the world. I mean, don't allow it to steal my happiness, my joy. Like just laugh at that stuff.
It's good. It's good stuff. You guys liking this book, these scrolls? And, you know, there's so much in each one of those. I highly recommend, you know, once we're done reading it, going back and spending some real time in those scrolls and really feeding your subconscious mind with some of that stuff and reading it 3 times a day or, you know, spend 30 days on each scroll. It's really there's a lot of powerful concepts in there. So, okay. All right. So the second thing we were going to talk about, and then we'll get our guest trainer on, is we talked last week a lot about belief and what are your beliefs. And a lot, you know, people don't necessarily hear what you say, they hear what you believe. And so raising your belief is going to raise your activity and raise your production. So, you know, I challenged everyone to spend a little bit of time, write down what is it you believe? What do you believe about our industry? What do you believe about our products? What do you believe about our team? And I'd like for, let's say, 3 of you guys to share that before we bring our guest on. Who wants to go first?
Mike, I'll share first.
Okay, awesome.
So for me personally, I started with myself because I've just known in the past, like my confidence and self-esteem was very low, just in all aspects. And so of course it trickled over to owning my own business because we are our own boss, right? We're independent distributors. And so really believing in myself. And so affirmations are really important and strong for me. And then I do it for all areas of my life. So, you know, my confidence, like I am beautiful, I am strong, I am powerful. And in my business, you know, I earn over $6,000 a month. I am a millionaire team member, and just repeating those things over and over to myself to build that belief over and over and over again was really powerful. And then something I added this week was for belief in our company. At events, I really love it because you're surrounded by Herbalife. You're surrounded by all the positivity and the good stuff in the world. But when we leave those events, we're then exposed to the negativity. We're exposed to people saying, well, what is Herbalife? Pyramid, blah, 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 like their opinions, not facts, but opinions. And for me, sometimes emotionally, I accept a lot of things that I should not. And so really building my belief in the company. And so that was starting to study more of Mark Hughes, because I didn't personally meet him. I didn't know him. You know, we came into the company in 2015. And so just listening to his videos on YouTube, I like to listen to things and then also watch his mannerisms as he teaches and he trains. But his passion just in those videos just helps me believe in the company, like how it got started, where it came from, what it's done, how it's changed people's lives, not only with the products, but with the business opportunity. And that just builds conviction and belief in me, in Herbalife, as a company. When people try to attack the company with their opinions, not with facts, but with their opinions, I can stand, grounded and strong in my beliefs in the company and not even, like blink an eye at what those people say. So that was just kind of like an action step that I added this week for that. So yeah, I think that was it for that part.
Emma heard your voice. She heard your voice and wanted to.
I am.
Okay, who else wants to share their beliefs?
I'll go. Just got to get back to my notebook real quick.
Awesome, Ryan. You had some good ones. I read it earlier.
All right. So for my beliefs about our industry, I think that the sky is the limit, but you'll remain on the ground if you aren't willing to put in the time, effort, and not only work on yourself, but encourage and lead others to do the same. You guys are a prime example of that. I had, not to speak negatively, a very different style of supervision and leadership. Last time I was involved in Herbalife in 2014, I had nothing close to what I've got here. And you guys have been really patient with me and knowing that I need to be a floating partner for right now. And you've helped me do what I need to do in order to be better at that until I can get to the next level. And for my beliefs about Herbalife, it's an amazing organization full of positive, driven people with the same style of goals and dreams. It's often misunderstood or misinterpreted as being a pyramid scheme, but it changes the lives of those who either take time to listen to us explain why it's not a pyramid scheme, or they just end up seeing what it really is, and it changes their lives as well as ours. My beliefs about the team, it's easily the most positive, helpful, caring, and driven group of people that I've ever met and worked with. I've worked with a lot of great people in the military, and a lot of them don't come close to comparing to you guys. So I really appreciate that. And blessed is the best way I can describe how I feel about knowing all of you and everyone else that I've met through Herbalife. My beliefs about the products, I firmly believe they change lives for the better. They're not only delicious and nutritious, but they make you feel good. They make, they've made me stop craving junk food. Like I used to look forward to taking breaks at work and going and grabbing a Dr. Pepper and a Snickers. Or when I was on the golf course, that was like my go-to snack was Dr. Pepper and Snickers and beer, obviously, while playing golf. But now I take tea and some little protein bites out on the golf course with me. But I'm constantly craving healthier foods, drinks, and just a better lifestyle. No longer craving energy drinks and stuff like that. I don't remember the last Red Bull I had, and I used to live off those things. That was my fuel. But thanks to Herbalife, I've kicked the can. So those are my beliefs.
Those are good, man. Good. Okay, let's have one more person share, and then we'll bring Brad on, and I'm super excited to hear what he's got to share with us. But let's have one more person share your beliefs. That spent some time on it and really focused on what you truly believe about the company, about yourself, about the team, any of those things. Nobody? Martina, you're grinning.
Because I'm waiting for somebody else to step up.
No, let's hear it, Martina. I want to hear from you.
Okay, so mine is, of course, the general. How I view it is almost all together. So the industry and Herbalife together. So for me, it was more of a godsend for it to be there, or it is here to have just walked in the door in the first place. Because without that, I would never have gotten as far as I have. So my belief is that it's Herbalife is there as more an opportunity for people. So it's giving everyone a chance to succeed in different ways. whether it be making money, bettering themselves, feeling better, anything like that. And with that, bringing it into that our team is more of a family than like team. So yeah, we're a team, but I think it's more like, okay, now Nika and Cliff and their kids and Sammy and Michael and their kids and everyone, it's like, all right, you know, just bring them all over, no problem. You know, it's like, that's what we do. So yeah, I feel like that's all together. You know, of course the product's great. You know, I believe in the products. I'm out, like, definitely a product of the product. And then about myself, that I'm meant to be here on this journey. That's what I believe. So I don't think I'm where I'm supposed to be in my journey yet, but it's yet. I know it's still going. So that's mine.
Awesome. Thank you, Martina. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. And now I do get the privilege, guys, to bring on a special guest trainer tonight. And guys, understand, like, it's really easy for us to take Brad Harris for granted. So understand, like, if you log into My Herbalife and go to the corporate training, you're going to find Brad Harris doing a personal development section from Honors last year. So guys, understand, like, it's real easy for us to take Brad's time for granted because he is such a giver and such a server to our team, and we're blessed to have that. But and you know, I get the privilege of talking with him pretty much daily, and but what he's got to pour into us tonight, guys, it's just soak it in. Get your notebooks out, get your pens out, get ready, because this is going to be an incredible training. So I am going to shut my mouth now and bring on 15K Executive President's Team member, knocking on the door at 20K, Mr. Brad Harris.
Thanks, Mike, and thank Mike and Sammy and the whole team. And super great to hearing you guys talk. And that's probably, I get to sit here and listen to you guys talk like that. That's awesome. So congratulations, this whole team. Mike and Sammy, just appreciate your leadership, and then seeing you develop leaders now, and the leadership that you guys are developing on this call. And we're going to talk a little bit about leadership tonight. So I'm just super excited. So just listen to you guys, you know, talking about your belief. You know what I mean? It's such a powerful thing. Belief is such a, I think it's a hidden ingredient, okay, that we have to have in this business, right? We have to believe. I always say belief is success. And without belief, guys, everything, and belief takes faith. And I always say faith is the highest attitude. Faith is something that we have to, you know, because we're talking about building businesses here. We're talking about, you know, I'm sure every one of you, number one, we've been talking about 200 shakes, right? That's a belief, right? That's a faith. We physically have never done it, but we absolutely know by belief that we're going to do it. Okay, so belief creates the faith, and faith creates the action. And, you know, we do the action, we're going to do 200 shakes. So what did you guys end up doing today? What did you guys end up doing today, Mike? So in Salina?
167.
167, strong day. That's a record, right? That's your best day ever. So that's super awesome. So just super excited about you guys. So what you guys are accomplishing there, but that 200's on the board, right? And hitting that 200 and making that happen, and in absolute belief and holding that thought. I tell Mike all the time, Sammy, it's like the ability to hold a thought longer than 15 seconds. And I want you guys to really think about that. The ability to hold a thought for longer than 15 seconds. If you can hold a thought for longer than 15 seconds, then that's when things starts formulating. Most people can't hold a thought for less than 4 to 7 seconds because we got so much, we call it monkey mind. We have so much stuff going on in our head. We can't hold a thought. And so if you can hold a thought with absolute conviction, with absolute belief, with absolute faith, then it has to come into form. That's how all things are created. First, it's created in the mind first, and then it's created, okay, in physicality. So everything's created twice. The building that you guys are in Salina, somebody thought it up, Somebody put a blueprint down, and then somebody put it in a form. But somebody had to think it up. Somebody sat around and thought, we're going to build a building right here. That was the thought. But as soon as they held that thought longer than 15 seconds, it had to come into form. So now you guys, all you have to do is whatever you want. So what you guys were talking about. That's why belief is success, because if you don't believe, then when that thought hits your head, you release it. You release it like, well, 200 shakes, I don't know. Or, so we should be happy with 167. Okay. Or whatever that thought that gets interrupted that. But if you hold that thought in absolute conviction, it'd be 200. By the way, you could do 300 if you wanted to. Okay. We could hold whatever thought we wanted, whatever, Somebody looked at a moon one time and said, we're going to fly there, right? Somebody held that thought longer than 15 seconds. And next thing you know, they're sitting on the moon. And everything comes into form. So the people will come for miles and miles just to get that thought put into form. So you can image a club, you can have it. Okay? So that's where I always see whatever I'm done. Now, our problems is that what we see confuses us, because what's in front of us, because some of you may be looking at your bank accounts and it's like, well, I don't see a lot of money there. You know what I mean? So what we see fools us. Our eyes, we see with our brains, not our eyes. And so what you need to do is learn to see with the brain or see with the mind, not the eyes. The eyes fool everything. So anyway, so it's just something I was listening to you guys talk. It's like what you believe in. I heard you guys talk a lot about pyramid, you know what I mean? Pyramid. So that's a common thing that we have out there. So, and not even to hold that thought when somebody talks to you about it. You can't even go there. I don't even go there with that thought. It's not a pyramid. And so that's their thought. So if you take them away from that thought, then you can just take them away to what we do. Well, I tell everybody all the time, you guys have probably heard me say this, and this is going to be very clear in this, guys. Nobody is sitting around wanting to do Herbalife. So really get that clear. Now, besides your kids, maybe, okay, as you start growing, right? Nobody's sitting around. If I drove 2 towns over and nobody's sitting, there's people sitting around wanting to be a fireman. There's people sitting around maybe want to join the military. Okay, that's their thought. There's people who said they want to be an actress. There's people sitting around thinking they want to be a football player. There's not people sitting around, 5-year-olds going, I want to be an Herbalife distributor. That's not. So guys, understand when we go out in the marketplace and say, hey, you want to do Herbalife with me? No, nobody wants to do Herbalife. So always understand that. And I've always understood that from the time I started Herbalife 25 years ago. We're not that kind of business. But here's what I do know. Everybody wants to make $500 a month. Everybody wants to make $5,000 a month. Everybody wants to own their own business. Okay? Everybody wants to make a difference. Okay? Everybody wants to personally grow. Everybody would like to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $30,000 a month. So guys, when I talk to people, that's all I ever talk to them about, what they want. So it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do Herbalife. It's like, yeah, don't worry about Herbalife. But hey, listen, would you like to make $1,000 a month? Well, yeah. Okay, great. Let me show you how to do that. Guys, people are digging ditches for $10 an hour. Do you think they want to build ditches? Was anybody sitting around going, I want to dig a ditch when I grow up? No. Why did they go dig a ditch? Because somebody said, I'll give you $15 an hour to do it. You get that? They don't want to dig a ditch. So ditch diggers needed. No. Who wants to make $15 an hour? Me. What I got to do? Dig a ditch? Okay. Okay. And they do it. So nobody wants to do Herbalife. But everybody wants to make money. But now once they start doing Herbalife, then what? Everybody wants to do Herbalife. Because they didn't know that existed. Now people don't want to continue building the ditch. See, I didn't want to do Herbalife. When Pam came into Herbalife, she had to throw a phone book with me. She had to do all kinds of fits and all kinds of stuff. It's like, I don't want to do Herbalife. I don't want to even sell vitamins. But you know what she did? She would have made $1,680. Then she made $3,000. And you know what I did want to do? I wanted to make $3,000. So all of a sudden I wanted to do Herbalife. Guys, the model we possess today, I've never seen it like this, because now we have a model that everybody wants. Because everybody wants to make money. Like you guys are making money. Everybody wants to make what Sammy and Levi said they made this morning. Everybody wants to do that. Now, I don't think everybody was sitting around wanting to make shakes. You guys follow me? Nobody's sitting around dreaming of making shakes when they were 5 years old. So now, but I can get them to make money. Once I get them inside, now they see what you guys were talking about tonight, which was personal development, which was, wow, now our eyes start opening. Wow, this is a community. Mike was talking about it earlier. I was talking to him. He goes, Brad, I'm building a community, not building money. I'm building a community. People can understand that at one level. And everybody wants to be a part of a community. Everybody wants to be. Everybody wants to be part of something special. Everybody wants to be a part of something. And you know what? Once they come inside of Salina, once they get past, okay, listen, I can make $150 on shift. Once they get past that, they go, this is bigger than the 151. You go, I know. Once they go to an LDW, they go, this is much bigger than 151. I know. When they go to Houston Extravaganza, they're going to go, this is much bigger than 151. And you go, I know. And then people go, I want to do Herbalife for the rest of my life. And you're like, what happened to that guy said it was a pyramid? Oh, I don't know what that guy, I was a stupid guy, right? So kind of understand that as you guys are working through your leadership. Your guys your job is to get the blind to see. That's what they're blind. They go, I don't want to do multi-level marketing. It's like, you're blind, dude. You are so blind. I don't want to do Herbalife. You're blind. So how can I get them to see? That's my only job. You can't get the blind to see something they don't want to see, though. So take them to something they want to see. And we have that model today. This partner model is absolutely unbelievable. The club model is absolutely unbelievable. It satisfies all those needs that people want. And then they find out what they really want is what Herbalife really gives you. Okay, and Herbalife is so much bigger. And so I do Herbalife today because of so many much more things than just money. All money allows us to do is, kind of solve our problems in style and make things happen. So tonight I wanted to cover with you guys some leadership stuff. That was just top of my head there. So I wanted to cover you guys a little bit. I had done this training, and I think Mike and Sammy has seen this training. Actually, I actually do this in when I do STSs around the country, or if I'll do these trainings for people that I don't train with, and I forget where I read this. I think it actually was a tape of a guy, and that taught me this. And so that I found somewhere. I used to be part of this. I used to get like in those days it was called Tape a Month. And now it's, I guess you have to call it a podcast a month now, but it was a tape a month. I used to get these little cassette tapes in, and I got a tape a month. I used to get one from Tony Robbins, and I used to get one from John Maxwell. And then I used to be part of this network marketing group, and they would send me a tape a month. And I would listen to these guys, and these are all top guys in all over the network marketing industry. And I think that's where I learned this, and really has some great leadership type of ideas. So I've always been a learner, and I've always been someone who constantly is feeding the mind. And that's just been a passion of mine. It's still a passion. I could literally, people say, what do you like to do for fun? Read. And they look at me like, literally, my idea is to go to Hawaii, get up early before Pam gets up, sit on the deck and read till about whenever she gets up, and then go have breakfast somewhere if we're doing the Herbalife shakes, or go do that. Okay, then go on the bed, then go on the beach and read until it's time for lunch or afterwards, and then come back, take a nap, and then read, and then go to dinner, and then come back, and then maybe just hang out with Pam. That would be the perfect day of my life. People like that. That's so boring. It's unbelievable. But that would be my perfect day. If you could give me a day And day in, day out, that's what I would do. Okay, then I'd have to have, because I would fill up so much, then I'd have to have calls like this to share it with all you guys. So that's why I love to do calls. I could do them all night long. Pam's like I said, I told Pam, well, I go do a call for Mike. She goes, you don't have to do nothing. You wanted to go do that call for Mike. And so don't tell me you have to go do something. Like Mike made you, and Mike turned your arm, and he said, if you don't do this call, I won't talk to you. No, okay, I got it. I'm going to go do this call. So I love working with you guys and love doing this. So I'm going to share a screen here, and we'll kind of walk through it a little bit. And if you guys, I'm okay if anybody wants to interrupt me or anything. And so as we talk and kind of go through this. And so let me just load it up here. So basically call it leadership. Okay, leadership, which is the master key to success. So a lot of people ask me, and this is actually, looks like I did this at the DC school when I did the DC STS last year. And so, but leadership, okay, is the master key to success. So people always ask me, what's the key to success, Brad? And it's leadership. Bottom line, that's the key. If you want to know and it's the master key. There's a lot of little keys, but when you have the master key, it opens up everything. It's not just the key, but it's the master key that will open up everything. I'm telling you, that key, leadership, will open up your life in Herbalife. It'll open up your life with your family. It'll open up your life if you're part of the church. It'll open up your life if you're head of your community and you're, do stuff in the community at the PTA. It's everything. If you're the coach of the Little League softball team, okay, it's the master key. So guys, if you want to know the secret to life, it's leadership. And leadership is a premium. It's a very much premium. And then guys, it's learned. And you can have natural skills, but it's learned. And it's a constant. And leadership has so many things to it. So I'm kind of walk you through it a little bit and kind of get. So leadership is developing, and this is really a great definition. Leadership is developing in other people a desire to follow you. And really get that. It's developing in other people a desire to follow you. Now, most leadership roles that you guys maybe have been a part of, it's like their leadership demanded you to follow them. If you don't follow me, I will fire you. So that is not what leadership is. That's more of a manager. That's more of a dictatorship. And that's most of the things we work with if we work out in the corporate world. Their leadership is developing other people a demand to follow me. You will follow that guy in the white shirt over there. Well, I don't really like him. I don't care, but you will follow him. Well, he's kind of a jerk. I don't care, but you will follow him. Okay? Now, leadership is developing a desire. I want to follow him. So let me ask the question to you. Do you think you have that ability? Do you right now? Do you have that ability? Do people desire to follow you? I really want to follow Martina. I really want to follow Levi. I really want to follow Sammy. I really want to follow Mike. Do they have a desire? Now, sometimes we're in roles they have to. All right? Seniority sometimes rules, right? You ever been in a position where, well, he's been here 20 years, you have to do what he says. But you don't have a desire. So what I've always tried to develop myself is like people wanted to follow me. And that's a big key in your success, is to develop that. So what I always have done is what I call is develop a leadership scale. That's what LS stands for, right? So if you have a leadership scale here, right? So if I was to ask you from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and 1 being the lowest, okay? So I always like to say 10 being a Jim Rohns, a Mark Hughes, John Maxwell, okay? Their leadership skills. A 1 being Charlie Brown. We all know Charlie Brown, right? Nobody wanted to follow Charlie, right? Nobody did. So if I had a 1 to 10, where would you put yourself on there? I want every one of you right now to write it down. Between that 1 and 10, 1 being Charlie Brown, okay, and 10 being a Mark Hughes, where do you put yourself at? Remember, we talked about leadership, a desire for people, that people have a desire to follow you. Where do you put yourself at? Now, what I find most people, and I don't know what the number you wrote down, you do, okay, but most people, they will choose 5. Well, I'm a 5, Brad. They don't even want, they, I read a great article one time. A CEO, he used to grade his team, right? And he would give them a 1 to 10, and he always left 5 out, because 5 doesn't. You're not committing. You're not bad. You're not good. That's called I'm not committing either way, Brad. He always left 5 out. They had to pick either 6 or 4. They couldn't go that 5 and just be in the neutral zone. Okay, but most people will pick 5, and that's where they fall. I'm a 5. Now, guys, here's the deal. If you're a 5, the only people that you can get to follow you is the person below you. Okay? Maybe you get a Lucy to follow you, which is a 4. See, a 5 can't get a 10. A 5 can't get a 9 to follow him. You follow this? People says, Brad, I can't get strong people in my group. Well, because you're a 5. 8s don't follow 5s. 7s don't hook up with 5s. You know who hooks up with 5s? 4s. Now you got an old below average leader. Now when they go bring you a guy, right? Now when Lucy brings you a guy, who does she bring you? Okay, she's going to bring you Linus. Now it's even getting lower. You see what I'm saying? Because Lucy can't even attract a 5 like you are. She definitely can't get a 7, 8, or 9 to follow her. She gets Linus to follow her. Now, who in the heck is Linus going to get to follow her? Okay, so now you have your first line and you have your second line. You go, Brad, man, this team just is not looking that well. Well, how come? Because when Linus goes out and recruit, he brings Pigpen in. Okay, and that's your team. And you go, Brad, this is my team. I'm super excited. Okay, I want to show them to you. Of course, Pigpen, the only person he can get is Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown can't even get the dog to follow him. And this is the team you're dragging around with you to STSs. And you're just begging them to come, and you probably end up buying their ticket for them. And you put them in the backseat of the car, and you went to their house and knocked on their door for 45 minutes until they finally showed up and said, okay, I'm coming. And you threw them in the car. You drove them all the way there. And then you wonder why you don't have a strong team. But here's the deal. Why did it all start out? Because you are not a leader. And if you are not a leader, you cannot attract leadership to you, gang. Your whole goal, it's the master key to success. So if I'm a 5 right now, this was me, 1993, guys. I had raised my check to a $6,000 royalty check. Or I should say, Pam had raised our royalty check to $6,000 after our 4th month in business. Okay, I come aboard, and the check went to about $600 within 3 months after I joined. I wasn't a leader. I sucked as a leader. I had to look in the mirror. I wanted to go back to TWA. I told Pam, I'm going to go back to work. She's like, what? You're going to go back to what you hated? It's like, well, somebody's got to pay the bills, right? She's like, why don't you just step up and be a leader? And it just hit me, guys. And like I said, that's why you always hear me give Pam credit. Pam's always the one who just challenges me. She knows too what I'm capable of. And I was giving up on Herbalife. And she's like, that's not leadership. that's not even who you are. You need to step up. And guys, that's when I started reading. That's when I picked up leadership books, and I started that year. I read 76 leadership books that year. I am drained in that because I was a 5 and I was bringing in 4 3s and 2s. Okay, and so that's my issue. I had to step up the game. I decided that day that I, Brad Harris, was going to be a leader. Then I, Brad Harris, could attract and have people who desired to follow. There's a lot of things that went in that drop a $6,000 check. I won't get into that. But the main thing I want you guys to get is like Brad Harris had a problem. I had to develop myself. So guys, I had to develop, right? I needed to go up with my leadership. I needed to get better. I needed to go up. And that's what your whole thing is. So if you put yourself down as a 5, 4, 3, I don't know what you put your down. If you put yourself down as a 6, you can only get 5s. And so it's like your whole job is to become a leader. So I studied what does that take? What I got to do? What I need to be? What I need to? How do I need to walk? How do I need to talk? How do I need to dress? How do I need to smile? How do I need to do? All these things I had to learn. And that's where all of you guys are right now. One of the reasons why you're on this call is to hone and develop your leadership skills. Now, a leader has to know about the products. A leader has to know the marketing plan. A leader needs to know, okay, how to make a shake. A leader needs to know how to, all the stuff that we do. But a leader is a person that people desire to follow. That's where you want to get to. That's where you want to get to. So you need to recruit up. You need to go up. That's the master key to success. See, when you start going up to 8 and 9, you can get 10s. You can get 9s. You can get 8s. And those are powerful, powerful people, because when 9 recruits somebody, he brings in an 8. And if you do recruit a 10, he brings in 9s. Now you got a powerful organization built around you, not somebody, as John Maxwell says, you got to hit the ball and drag Charlie. Hit the ball and drag Charlie. Quit hitting the ball and dragging Charlie. I need somebody to run the bases by themselves. And a lot of us, we drag people along with us. Okay? And that's not leadership game. That's not leadership. So look at your leadership right now. Where are you? And that's where you take on that game. You take on the challenge. I'm going to do everything possible to become a leader that I need to be and grow. Because we all have it within ourselves. And by the way, some of you could be a 10 mom and a 5 Herbalife distributor. So don't get your role and your identity messed up. So don't let these Brad says I'm not a very good person. I did not say that. You could be an unbelievable father, unbelievable sister, unbelievable mother. You could be an unbelievable friend. I'm talking about leadership in Herbalife. That's what we're talking about here. So making sure we're clear on that, okay? If you don't have 10s, guys, you will have a residual job. If you don't have 10s, you're always going to be hitting the ball and dragging Charlie around. You're always going to be like, well, I got to get up there because I know Joe doesn't know how to clean the club. I got to get up there. I just don't know if he knows how to. You just built yourself a job. Go open up a club and put you a bunch of non-leaders in that club with you, and you got yourself a residual job and work the rest of your life. You put leadership in that club and you can walk away. You can go away for 2 weeks and come back to Shakedown. It'll be up 10 shakes. It'll be up 20. But if you went on vacation and said, oh, crap, when I come back, I hope it's still here. See, that's leadership. If you don't have these kinds of people around you, if you have 10, 9s, and 8s, you have a real business. You have a lifestyle income game. When you recruit those 10, 9s, and 8s, I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's powerful. That's what you need to look at. That's what you need to do. Very, very powerful. Okay? First, we always say leader of followers. That builds you a business. So at first, you will lead followers, and there's follower leaders. Okay? That's a business. But what we want to do, okay, as a leader of leaders, that's how you build a dynasty. One of the things I've always wanted to do is lead leaders. That's a very high, powerful position. That's, to me, when leaders look up to you. Guys, you have that going on, you're going to build a dynasty in Herbalife. You want to know how you're going to make a 6-figure income, a 7-figure income in Herbalife? That's it right there. Not a leader of followers. Usually when I find a leader of followers, he has an ego. And those followers feed his ego. I like somebody who challenges me. I like somebody who's better than me. See, that's a leader of leaders. When we put our skills together, we become very powerful together. So what are you? What are you? And really look at it. And if I was to ask Mike, who's the leaders on this call right now? What would he say to me? If I say, Sammy, who's the leadership on this call? Who would she say? Would she say you? If I said, hey, Mike and Sammy, I want you to rank every single person on this call, 1 to 10. Can you send it over to me? What do you think number they would put down on their list that they sent over to me? And then when I looked at that number, take responsibility for that number. If it's a 7, 8, 9, fantastic, keep growing. If it's 4, 5, or 6, it's time to go to work. It's trying to really look within, because that's a personal development problem. That's what I had in 1993. That's all that is, gang. Leadership isn't hard. Leadership's a personal development issue. Do you want to take responsibility? I love it. I follow this James Clear. James Clear says, write down all your responsibilities. If you don't have any, you're not a leader. The more responsibilities you have, that's leadership. Most people push them off. I don't want to take responsibility for that. No, I'm not going to take responsibility for that. I've always been one, let me have that. I'll take responsibility for that. And if anything goes wrong, you come to me. The buck stops right here. Are you that person? Are you always pushing it off? Or you don't want the responsibility, because then you will be held accountable to that. And by the way, great leadership messes up. Takes responsibility though. Owns up to it. That's leadership, gang. That's totally leadership. So guys, when I really look at when I'm coaching and talking now, okay, there's 2 things that I always put down, right? We have 2 options. We can console or coach. So sometimes when there's things that come up to me, okay, people sometimes want to be consoled. I always want to be coached. I never want to be consoled. I never, ever want to be consoled. I probably shouldn't say that I shouldn't say the word never. But man, it has to be pretty big for you to console me. I want coaching. So, see, one involves making a person feel better, which is console, right? The other involves making a person be better. I always wanted to be better, not feel better. It's like people say, well, you made me feel bad. You made me feel bad when I messed up and everything. You came in and you made me feel bad. So, I don't care. My question is, did you get better? That's all I cared. People call me up. It's like, I can't believe it. It's like, great. Did you get better? Tell me how you got better through that situation. To see, they're so bad at, they're so So sitting around feeling. John Maxwell says you act your way into feeling. You can't feel your way into action. And so it's like, that's the difference. When I feel better, I'll do this. No, if you'll do this, you'll feel better. When I feel better, I'll work out. No, if you go work out, you'll feel better. When I feel better, I'll start doing the shakes. No, if you did the shakes, you'd feel better. You act, then you feel. It's a very hard thing too, especially if you're a type of a pearl type of personality. I know Alexis did the personalities on here, and that's something you, because you are a feeler. And there's nothing wrong with feeling. But we want to feel ourselves to be better. Do you understand? Not just we want to become better. We want our person to become better. You want your feelings not to be hurt as easy. It's just such a great thing in coaching. And I see this all the time in leadership. Okay? So how do you get leaders? A leader will only be attracted to someone who's a leader. Leaders can sniff out leaders. See, people don't see you through their eyes. They see you through your eyes. Guys, if you don't believe you're a leader, you'll tell me you're not a leader. See, I may think you're a leader, but you'll tell me what you are. Well, Dr. Wayne Dreyer says, if a person walks up as a waiter and walks up and says, hey, I'm sorry, it's my first day here, I'm not very good at this, not a leader. You never, leadership never pre-qualifies himself in the negative. Never. I see people do it all the time at the STS. Hi, my name's Brad. It's my first time. I'm not really good at this. Oh, great. I want to listen to you. I think I'll go to the bathroom then. I don't want to hear somebody who pre-qualified them negative. You can say this is my first time, but you better get your pen out because I got some stuff to say. That's okay. I've been working all night long on this presentation. This is going to be unbelievable what you're about ready to hear. That's leadership. Then I see through your eyes what you're seeing. Well, I'm just not really good about making shakes. Oh, really? I want to drink your shakes? This is my first time on shift. This is my first time making this shake. I'm not really good at it. Sammy's better. Oh, great. Not leadership. You guys, you truly, what you see yourself, that's who you are. And that's who everybody else will see. So really understand that's why you see, I had a quote the other day. It's like, I can tell somebody's past, present, and future by their words. It's so simple to see who people are. I'm trying to find another assistant right now. So I'm interviewing people. And so we run this ad, right? I need a person who can do social media, and that's what I'm running because I need a personal assistant. It's just totally out of control right now, right? And Destiny was my assistant, and now she's making way too much money, and I can't pay her enough. So she left me high and dry. And so okay, Destiny, go make me royalties. So anyway, so we doing these interviews, and so Pam, so she'll run a Craigslist ad and Indeed ads, and we run these ads, right? And these people, and Pam always wants me to bring the resume, and I don't even want to see a resume. I just want to hear what they say, the first 4 words out of their mouth when they walk in the interview with me, whether they're going to be me or they're going out. It didn't take me 5 minutes. I had a girl come in the night, it was 5 minutes. Pam came in, she was a little late because Pam would come up when I do them. She walked in, I'm already done. I said, no, I'm just done. She's like, you're done already? It's like, yeah. She pre-qualified herself in the negative. It's over. It's over. It's over for this lady. And she just lost hundreds and hundreds, probably millions of dollars because of her words, because she was willing to walk, because she was willing to pre-qualify herself. Not my girl. Not my girl. It's so simple, gang. All she got to do is say, hey, listen, okay, I'm really good. I can learn really quick. I'll do whatever you teach me to do. That's all she'd had to say. Alexis was that way. She lied to me. I most appreciate him lied to me. Yeah, I know how to do Excel. And she went and bought, Excel for Dummies. Studied it the next day. That's my girl. That's my girl. She probably qualified herself in the positive. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, I can do PowerPoint. Yeah. See, I saw through her eyes what she was thinking. That was the difference. So it doesn't matter, gang, okay? Change your perspective of yourself. See yourself as powerful. People need to see you as a leader. Mark Hughes taught me that. I'll never forget. He said, Brad, when you walk in the room, they need to say, who is that? When you walk in the HOM, they say, who is that girl? Who's that guy? When you walk in the STS, when you walk in the LDW, and you do that because you're the one at the registration desk, you're the one, seating people, you're the one helping to set the stage. People say, that's the leader right there. They see it a mile away. People need to see it. Do they see that, or do they see you walk in late? Do they see you? If you ask you a question, I don't know. Go ask Mike. I don't know. Go ask Martina. No. Do they see you as a leader? Are you a leader at your HOM? Are you a leader in your club? Do I recognize you? I recognize leadership in a mile away. I'll tell Mike and Sammy, I like that girl. I like that guy. That's a leader. I can just see it. I can see it. I can smell it. Mile away. Now they got a lot to learn. They may not know what Shazandra is yet, but I can see leadership. Okay? But I know one day they're going to be talking about Shazandra, and I know they will get it. They're not going to tell me, well, I'm just not really good at spelling. Stop it. Well, I'm just not really good in front of people. Done. Well, I'm not really good with numbers. Stop it. You're pre-qualifying yourself in the negative. Don't ever do that. And hey, listen, I'm not saying I'm great in numbers, but I'll tell you what, I'll figure it out because I'm a leader. I will figure it out. I'm telling you, I'll figure it out. You count on me. Okay? Project it until you perfect it. Everything's about projections. Communicate to leaders with strength. Study the words you say. Everything's about projection. I am going to be on the millionaire team. Okay? That's a projection. Now it backs up with action. Learn to project, then go do it. Because see, once a leader speaks it, John Peterson and Susan Peterson, number one distributors in the world. John told me a story. He's like, he was working with Mark Hughes, and John had just got started. And I think he made a couple $1,000s that month and doing pretty good. And he said, hey, and that's when we did conference calls and everybody listened in on the phone. And Mark said, hey, John, listen, I want you to get on that line tonight and say, hey, listen, I made $2,000 last month. It looks like in the next 3 months we're going to be making $10,000 a month. That's what I want you to say. And he's like, Mark, he goes, Susan's going to be on this call. She's going to hear this. That's his wife. And my family, they're going to hear. I can't say that. He goes, no, you say it. You say it. You will say that or you won't be on the call. And John said, I'll never forget it. I was just like pacing. I was like, he wants me to say that? I'm going to be making $10,000. Looks like in the next 3 months. He goes, I said it. And boy, and then I'll never forget Susan's like, what are you saying? He's like, my gosh. And it's like, out the door he went to do flyers. Out the door he went. I better go to work then because I said it, because he's a leader. Say it. And then go do it. Go do it. Study the word you say. There's leaders and then there's needers. Which one are you? When you talk to people, do you need them to join your business? Do you need a check? Do you need money? I don't need needers. Man, Mike, I really need to get a royalty check. Mike, I really need to make some more money. I really need. I don't need that. I don't need needers. What are you? Are you a needer? Or are you a leader? It's good stuff. It's good stuff to think about. Okay? You know, side note, leaders will push to find out if you know what you're talking about. This is a real key point. I want you to know. A real leader will question you. So you can't fool them. So when I talk about, sometimes we say fake it until you make it. That works a little bit. But you better know what you're talking about, because they're going to say, well, tell me about the marketing plan. See, that's why I got into studying, guys. That's why I got into reading. People always ask me, they'll go, what book are you reading? I say, I've never read a book for a long time. I only study books. I don't read books. And I know so many people who read books. I'm not interested. And they're like, oh, I read, because I'll say I read 76 books in 1 year. They'll go, I read 80 books. Not interested. Study a book. If you're going to listen to a YouTube, study it. You're gonna do the marketing plan, know it. Figure it out. Because leaders will recognize that. They will challenge you. And then you lost that 9 leader, you lost that 10 leader. Because he saw right through you. You don't know what you're talking about. Now there's always ways to take that leader and connect him. The leader knows, do you know it or can you get the answer? It's like, you know what? I don't know that answer, but I'll tell you, I'll have it for you tomorrow this time. That's leadership right there. I don't know everything, but I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll have you an answer. Sometimes Mike and Sammy ask me a question, and I don't know that answer. I'll tell you what, though, I'll get it. I'll get it. They'll recognize leadership inside of that. Okay? Okay, no thought enters your mind should ever go unchecked. This is a huge concept of mine. I learned this from Dr. Caroline Leaf, okay, which is a fantastic author to read, okay? But she's basically a Christian Scientist, basically. But she's basically studies science and everything, but she's proves it through Christianity. But she talks about no thought. So you have to have the ability to check every thought that comes in your mind. People say, I just speak my mind. That's not leadership. If you speak your mind, you're not a leader. No thought enters your mind should ever go unchecked. There's certain things I don't speak that I think. Proverbs says only a fool speaks his mind. Guys, you have to have the ability to check every thought that comes into you. You're responsible what comes out of your mouth. Because once it comes out of mouth, you can't take it back. Words and an arrow can never be taken back. They came out. And somebody said, oh, I didn't mean that. Yes, you did, because things are created twice. Once in the mind and once with your mouth. Okay? So it comes into existence. So you must take responsibility. Say, well, I didn't really mean to say that. Yes, you did. Because it came into your mind and then you spoke it. You have to have the ability that no thought goes unchecked. That thought doesn't need to leave the mouth. That's why the tongue is a two-edged sword. You have to have the ability to check every thought that comes in before I speak it. I have to have it right in this second. So understand, that's leadership, is the ability to check it. No, don't say that, say that. Don't say that, say that. Don't say that. That's why I constantly study. I want to be so well prepared in my mind that I can speak what I need to speak at the right moment. Now, there'll be times I speak and I shouldn't have, but I can't say I didn't mean it. Just take responsibility. Just take responsibility when you did it. It's a tough concept, but it's high leadership. That's why calmness of mind rules the earth. Calmness, the ability to check a thought before you speak. Oh, I'm just a hothead, Brad. I don't go for that. I just speak my mind. That's not leadership. Don't be proud of that. I just can't stop that. That's not leadership. It's the master key. The mind controls the physical brain. In other words, mind controls matter. Your mind switches on your brain. Thoughts are real things. They take up space in your brain. Remember, you're not your brain. The brain is a physical thing. It's controlled by you. Your mouth is controlled by you. So understand, words, okay, become, okay? In other words, mind controls the matter. Your mind is not the brain. They're two different things. So when I say mind, don't think of that brain. The mind controls that brain. The mind controls the mouth. If I punch somebody, my mind told me to do that. Okay? I take responsibility for that. If I punch somebody, I didn't have the ability to check that thought, did I? And we all maybe thought it. I would just want to punch that guy in the mouth. Okay? But we didn't do it because we checked that thought. It's the ability to be able to do that. You got to be able to have high leadership to do it. You're unaware of 90 to 97% of brain activity, 40 billion action per seconds. Then you make a choice. Guys, that's why personal development, I can't tell you guys enough what personal development is. I can't tell you. And the choices you make have consequences. Okay? It's like things are happening so quick like this. You got to be so developed. And it takes time to do this. And you're going to have consequences, and you're going to lose people because of what you said, what you did, how you portrayed it. You have to have the ability, and you just develop yourself, and you develop yourself, and you develop yourself. That's why you hear people that says, it took me 14 years to get to the president's team. That's how long it took them to develop. And that's okay, by the way. It's not bad to spend 14 years to get to $250,000 a year to develop, to finally check leadership. You can compress time, though. You can compress time. Two things, right? This is not who I am. This is who I've become. Okay, so just really think, it's not who I am. This is who I've become. People say, well, that's just who I am, Brad. No, it isn't. It's who you become. I can change I am. Do you understand? I can change who you are. That's just what I am, Brad. I'm just not. No, that's not who you are. That's who you've become. I'm just a brawler. That's who you become. I'm just impatient. That's who you become. It's like you must understand that. If you can understand that you've spent your life to become this person, but that's not who you are. You've identified yourself of who you become. By thoughts, things come to you. By action, you receive them. Okay, so it's like, just understand these things. By thoughts, if you can get these two things in your head, if I can think 200 shakes a day, by action, I'll receive it. Do you understand? If I can have that thought and hold it. If I can think I'm on the president's team, by action, I can get there. If I can think I'm going to have 10 clubs, by action, I can get there. If I think I'm going to be a leader, by action, I can get there. But it's not, well, I'm just not a leader, Brad. No, what you become is, yes, not a leader. But that's not who you are. High concepts. High concepts. Very high concepts. But if you guys can get this, you'll own the earth. Because nobody gets this. people are just walking around, guys, just walking around, just be consequences of their thoughts and things that they've done. They don't know they have a mind to control the brain. They can't even control their elbow going back and forth like this, and so now they're gaining weight, or they're an alcoholic, or because they can't control a thought. And then they say, well, I'm just an alcoholic. I'm just overweight. I am just a person who can't put down candy bars. I am just a person who loves Cokes. I am just a... No. That's how I can listen to a person talk in 5 minutes and know. And so if they're not willing to personal develop, that's who they will stay to. That's who they will stay. Always write this down. This radio station. It's called WIIFM. Okay? And this radio station is what is in it for me. Everybody receives that signal. Everybody thinks, what's in this for me? That's the radio station they're in tune to. So know this. Know this. That's why everybody, when they're coming in, that's why it's so powerful. If you show them what's in it for them, because that's all they're wired to, guys. They don't care about you. You heard me train. It's like, I can show pictures. Here's my pictures in Hawaii, and here's my pictures in Dominican Republic, and here's my pictures, okay, in Canada. Here, it's like, I don't care. What's in it for me? I care less that you made $151 on shift today. What's in it for me? That's what they want to know, right? I need to look at the time. Okay, I'm past time, Mike. So, I'm sorry. So, okay, so I'm getting warmed up here. So, I'll stop there. So, so the mic can only receive so much anyway, right? So, let me stop share. But so. Because I could go through these concepts. I probably have 30 more slides here, right? I could go through these concepts all night long with you, okay? And it's just years and years of study and just years of stuff. It's like the person you guys become. You guys are on this journey right now. You're on this Success University. And you're on this journey. It's kind of weird what we do. We're hanging out here on a call talking about the brain, okay? It's like we're on this incredible journey now. We're making shakes and we're making specialty teas and putting whipped cream on top of something. And I was thinking about that today when we were doing all these shakes, and I was like, man, it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. You guys are on this journey of taking health out there. You're on this journey of finding people. You're on this journey that we're going to add people to a call like this. We're going to change people's lives. Because people aren't happy out there. And they don't even know the master key. They're trying to use all these other keys. They think it's alcohol. They think it's drugs. They think it's another woman. They think it's another man. They think it's, well, maybe if I had another child. And they think, well, it's leadership. The ability to control your mind. The ability to control a thought. The ability to hold a thought. It's like, it's that simple. It's that simple. The ability. If you have that ability, guys, you'll own it. So, Mike, super excited about your team. So, hopefully, like I said, that was what you were looking for. So, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. Thank you so much for coming on. And I think I could speak for everyone. If you wanted to keep going, I'm sure we would just stay on the call here.
We'll do another part 2, right?
Yeah. So amazing. Thank you, Brad. Does anyone? I know I took about 4 pages of notes. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? Does anyone have anything they'd like to share about something that impacted them, or is everyone still just processing?
Processing.
Levi, I know you got something, man.
I always got something, Mike. What are you talking about? Okay, so I guess my takeaway mainly is this is not who I am. This is who I have become. I was actually just talking with my grandparents today while we were gardening earlier, and they were just impressed with me from when I started, actually, and it's only been like 5 months. And they were just so proud of me because of what I've become so far. And, you know, when Brad said, this is not who I am, this is who I become, I kind of put that in big air quotes on my paper, and just, I don't know what it is about it, but it just hit hard.
It's good. Awesome. Well, guys, it's 20 after 9. I really appreciate you guys getting on here. And okay, so real quick, we are going into the final week of Success University, right? So obviously, we all know our qualifications for graduation. Make sure you're tracking that. Make sure you know what you've got to accomplish later this week, or going into next Thursday. Your personal event. I know I've seen some events going on. We've had some in-services. I know Cliff and Jerry went down to Wichita for their event. So hosting that personal event, I know if you got to wrap that up this week, make sure you make that happen. Your clients, your new clients, your new distributor, and your new guest on May 19th. So don't forget, that's part of the requirements. And I know, guys, I think we've added at least 3 people to the team just today. So, it's just amazing what we've got rocking and what's going on. I'm just very blessed and proud of each and every one of you guys and what you're doing out there in the community. So, final week, let's finish strong. Anyone have any questions about the graduation requirements? Okay, perfect. We're clear on that. And again, Brad, thank you so much for tonight. We appreciate you and we value your time. And I did record that. So if anyone wants to see that again, if you want to review it, take more notes, because there was a lot of great information there, let me know. I'll get that to you guys. And let me stop sharing here. Okay, awesome, guys. Well, congratulations for being on tonight. One more week. Let's finish strong. Wrap up those requirements. We'll have our graduation party later this month or early next month. And let's finish strong, guys.
Good night, guys.
Have an amazing night. See ya.